chill.
Hello, Marvel Legends. It's time, once again, for everybody to come aboard the Counting Down All the Marvel Legends train. I was kind of riffing on The Godfather from 1999. Not the Al Pacino movie, but the wrestler who had a similar shtick. Anyway, I digress. The year is 2004. Let's take a look at every Marvel Legend released in this year. Of course, folks, the photography for this video is sponsored and provided by MarvelLegends.net. Go to MarvelLegends.net for all of your chronicling of all the classic Marvel Legends figures right back to the original Toy Biz era and some chef's kiss photography as well. Marvel Legends, go check them out. Starting with everyone's favorite time traveler, Cable. Cable came resplendent in the usual blister pack, also featuring a really huge, cool sort of gun, tank, flying thing type accessory. And of course, he had the classic 90s pockets and pouches, really looking like he just jumped off of a Rob Liefeld page. But that wasn't all. You also got a brown variant Cable that you could pick up as well. Plus, of course, as was the style at this time, the characters came with their own comic as well. In this case, it was a reprint of Cable number 73. Following on from Cable, we keep it in the family with Phoenix, or also Dark Phoenix. Yes, again, we get two different choices to go for. We've got the regular Jean Grey Phoenix, or as a variant, you get the Dark Phoenix as well. Both of these characters came with a beautiful flaming Phoenix accessory. Oh gosh, it looks so nice. You can still search for it on the back market. Secondary market? You know what I'm talking about. Either way, it's quite a sought after piece because you can just put that with any character, like a modern Jean Grey, and it just looks fantastic. Also, of course, these figures came with a reprint of X-Men number 101. Also in Wave 6, and keeping it all things X, we get Deadpool. And Deadpool came with a Doop action figure. And this is kind of fun, because Doop was a much more modern character from, I believe it was the X-Force relaunch title. And he's a character I know nothing about, but what a bizarre, quirky, fun-looking character. So they would both look great on the shelf together. And of course, this being Toy Biz and the golden age of accessories and all things, Deadpool came with guns and all sorts of explosive weapons of destruction, so a really fun figure. Plus, he came with a copy or a reprint of Deadpool number 4. Keeping Series 6 decidedly X-themed, we get the Juggernaut, and what a massive, awesome figure this is. Often called the Gorilla Juggernaut because of the gigantic big arms he's got sort of lumbering around with him. This figure looks so awesome. There's not much in the way of accessories with this figure, but I mean, come on, it's the Juggernaut. All you need is the beef. There's a lot of plastic in this figure. Plus, he comes with a reprint of X-Men number 13. Next up, taking it away from the mutants and over to the street side of things, we have the Thomas Jane Punisher. So this is an interesting one. So we get another movie figure, but I love the Thomas Jane head sculpt because he looks so unimpressed with everything. He's like, I guess I'm going to fire this rocket launcher now. But that's kind of fun. It's kind of quirky. I don't think it's like the best Thomas Jane likeness, but you can see that's kind of what was being gone for. And of course, this figure also comes with a comic book reprint. In this case, it's Amazing Spider-Man number 129. And to complete Series 6, we take it right back around to the X-Men again with Brown Costume Wolverine. Brown and tan, they have various different names for it, but it's Brown Costume Wolverine. And he also comes with an accessory of a whole other character, which is Ogun as well. So they make a really cool kind of pair together on the shelf. And this wouldn't be complete without a reprinted comic book. And in this case, Wolverine comes with a copy of Uncanny X-Men number 213. And that does it for Marvel Legends Series 6. After Series 6, we of course move on to Series 7, and we get some serious bang for our buck in this series. There are some big characters. First of all, who bigger and badder than Apocalypse? So this huge, big, chunky, badass looking Apocalypse comes with a great scowling, mean looking face, straight out of, his first appearance in X Factor. And speaking of which, this character does come with a reprint of X Factor number 25. Next up, we step away from the mutants and we go full demonic, hellish, supernatural with Ghost Rider. And what a figure this is. Coming complete with the bike as well. This one was just a great single package, but that's not all. I mean, because he's such a good figure, why not make him twice? This is an awesome variant that he can also be bought alongside or posed alongside. We have the phasing variant Ghost Rider, and this is just a gnarly looking figure. You think about this is a kid's toy, but look at the sculpting on this face as you know he turns into the Ghost Rider, the flesh being burnt away to reveal the skull. So awesome, so badass. Oh, I'd love to have this one on my shelf. I'm not a big Toy Biz guy, but yeah, I would happily take this. Also, rather than a comic reprint, this figure comes with a nice snazzy looking poster book. After Ghost Rider, we're going to go back to the real world for a bit with the Avengers Hawkeye. Hawkeye in his classic costume, again with a great accessory to pose him on as well. A really fun figure who comes also with a reprint of Avengers number 223. Sticking with the Avengers, we get a Series 4 re-release of Giant Man. Covered already in previous video. He comes with Ant-Man and the Wasp as well, so a huge bit of bang for your buck with this character. And also he comes with a reprint of Avengers number 28. Sticking with the Avengers theme from the Iron Man chase figure, we have Silver Centurion Iron Man. In a fun design move, Hasbro made the mask removable. Rather than having a separate Tony head, you actually had the Iron Man head that you could pull the faceplate off of, which was a really nice touch that I would like to see brought back. But hey, that's just my personal preference. He also, of course, comes with accessories, a nice stand and a display to have him with, and he also comes with a reprint of Iron Man number 200. And rounding out the Avengers for this series, we have the Vision. Not just one, but two Visions. Just like Ghost Rider, you have a different version as well. You have regular Vision and phasing Vision. So you can see whatever Vision you want to have to suit your personal preferences. Both of them are really fun figures. They look great. They have the big swooping cape and very sort of regal Vision kind of look. Me personally, I love my translucent, colourful plastic, so phasing Vision I think looks really cool. And of course, both figures come with a reprint of Avengers number 135. And finally, concluding Series 7, we have Wolverine Weapon X, looking like he's come straight out of the Department H science labs. He's got all the classic accessories that you imagine from the Weapon X comic books, with the mask, the visor, all the tubes and whatnot all over him. A very fun, cool, unique looking figure. And of course, he comes complete not with a reprinted comic this time, but with a rather snazzy X-Men Legends poster book. And that concludes our look at Series 7. And we wrap up the series for 2004 with Series 8, and we go into it very strong with the Black Widow. Black Widow coming in her classic Avengers appearance there, but that's not all. You also get the variant version of Black Widow, the Yelena Belova version. I have to make sure I pronounce that right, otherwise I just embarrass myself. Both of these figures come with a reprint of Daredevil number 81. Keeping it Avengers, the next figure is the Sentinel of Liberty, Captain America. Of course, Cap comes with everything you would expect. The shield, a nice base, and he comes with a 616 poster book. That's not all though. We also have another variant. In this case, we have Ultimate Captain America, who has some slight paint variations to distinguish him as Ultimate Cap, but that's not all. Early shipments have a paint error with grey paint on the 616 pants and blue on Ultimate. A running change corrected this, but it's an interesting little find if you can come across one. Next up, we take it to Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery with Dr. Octopus, who they think they do a great job with a very sort of mean-looking, mad scientist kind of face. And also, of course, Dr. Octopus comes with a reprint of Marvel Age Spider-Man number 2. Next up, we have the chase figure for the wave, which is the Doombot. Already covered in the previous series, this figure comes with its typical base, and of course it has a comic book as well. In this case, it comes with a reprint of Marvel Age Spider-Man number 4. Now we're taking it back to the mutants with Bobby Drake, Iceman. Typically, as with all the figures, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, Iceman comes with a base to display him on as well, some cool ice effects to put with him, and of course, with this figure you get a reprint of Uncanny X-Men number 18. Now we've got ourselves a really fun figure. We're going to go back to the supernatural kind of side of things. We have the giant-sized Man-Thing. This character is really cool, and the figure totally represents that. I love that we have such variance in the style and the sizes of the figures. This is a figure you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get your money's worth with this one. And of course, he comes with a comic book as well. In this case, he comes with Ultimate Marvel Team-Up #7. And what would a Legend series be without Iron Man? It's funny actually I say that, but this was long before the first Iron Man movie even came out, so Iron Man wasn't the franchise that he was, but he was always very toyetic. I mean, you gotta love that armor. And in this case, we get modern Iron Man, looking resplendent and very snazzy in his more up-to-date technological gear. And of course, this figure comes with all the accessories you would expect, and rather than a reprinted comic, he comes with a snazzy-looking poster book. And finally, rounding out Series 8 for Marvel Legends in 2004, we have Black Costume Storm. And this is a figure that I think they really did a great job of capturing the character. You have the wonderful face sculpt, which I think is very, very dramatic and very regal looking. Also, of course, you've got a wonderful kind of whirlwind cloud sort of base to put her on. And no figure in this wave would be complete without a reprinted comic book. In this case, we get Uncanny X-Men #96. That's not all though. Don't let me stop you there. We also have another variant version of Storm 2, not just with the long flowing hair, but we have the very cool, awesome looking Mohawk Storm as well. So you can choose which kind of style, which sort of hair you think fits your collection best. This is a figure I'm really very fond of. And that concludes our look at Series 8 of Marvel Legends. But hey, don't go anywhere. Where do you think you're going? We're not done, because in 2004 we also had box sets, and oh boy howdy did we have some fun box sets. First of all, we have the Fantastic Four box set. And what a great combination this is. This has all the ones you would expect. Of course, you've got Ben Grimm, The Thing. You've got Reed Richards. You've got Sue Storm. You've got Johnny Storm changing halfway between fire and regular. But also, you get Dr. Victor Von Doom with the removable mask showing his gnarly Freddy Krueger face under there. But on top of that, we have two awesome little extras as well. We have, chronologically, my first Marvel Legend. I have this guy, thanks to my buddy Jeb. I have the little Franklin Richards, and he does not look right next to modern figures. He's got the big, crazy kind of cartoony eyes, but he's really fun to just have. And hey, my first Marvel Legend. And of course, we've got the robot Robbie. Well, what? Okay, my mind's gone blank. Sorry. Whatever the robot's name is, please help me out in the comments. We get him too. So that's a great set and a great way. If you don't have the Fantastic Four, just buy everything all at once. And as if that wasn't enough Fantastic Four for you, we have more Fantastic Four for you. We have another Fantastic Four box set of the core cast of characters. So now we have the more modern suit versions of Reed, Sue, Ben, and Johnny. Ben in particular is one that is very highly regarded and is still in high demand because he's got the cloth trench coat. And this cloth trench coat will still kind of fit and scale with a lot of modern Hasbro Marvel Legends. So it's such a fun accessory that you can throw on other characters. So if you can find yourself a Ben Grimm with the cloth overcoat, nab him, grab hold of him, because that is a great figure and a great accessory to have. And finally, to round out and wrap up 2004, we have a box set very close to my heart. It is Spider-Man and his assorted villains and rogues gallery. First of all, we have Spidey, of course, looking resplendent right there. But what would Spider-Man be without his villains? And we have a heck of an assortment right here. We've got ourselves Kraven the Hunter with a maniacal look on his face and some great weapons as well. We have what is still considered by many people to be the quintessential Green Goblin figure. I personally love this Goblin. I think the eyes are great with like the Norman eyes behind them. It's just such a wonderful sculpt. And yeah, some would argue still yet to be bettered. Also, we have Electro, who's kind of a goofy looking design, but his design is kind of goofy looking. Although I feel his mask looks kind of odd on his face, like it's kind of thick material, but it's still a very fun Electro figure to have. Next up, speaking of cloth capes and cloth accessories from Ben Grimm, we have Dr. Octopus, who's a Dr. Octopus we're familiar with, but he comes with the fun white lab coat as well, making it a very unique character in and of itself. Also in the back, we have the Black Cat, because obviously Spider-Man needs some support against all these guys, so you can pair her up with him and they can fight side by side. And finally, what Spider-Man set would be complete without Venom, everyone's favourite symbiote, who I always felt was kind of not really a team player in the comics. He joined the Sinister Six once and it did not work out well. But as a general collection of Spider-Man's rogues, what a great way to round out the set. And that concludes it for 2004. My goodness, what a year that was. Some iconic characters and, more to the point, the numbers are ratcheting up. You know, Toy Biz are getting the production line rolling, they're really getting their groove behind them, and they are churning out a lot of Marvel Legends. So going forward, these videos might be broken up, and I might have to separate the years a little bit, otherwise it just becomes a crazy marathon, and this is more about... I don't know who that was. This is more about the journey, not the destination. So folks, thank you so much for joining me for the 2004 retrospective. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And folks, for all of your Marvel Legends photography needs, go and check out marvellegends.net, a beautiful compendium of every Marvel Legend released, especially the old school ones, and the photography. Age of Apocalypse. I'll tell you what. It was that bloody dark beast with the stupid articulated toes. Just, I gotta buy a proper stand for him. Anyway, I'm not taking this out. It's a little sample of real life there for you. Anyway, what was I saying? marvellegends.net. Go check them out. In the meantime, if you enjoy these videos and you like seeing my life literally crumble around me in so many different ways, then please join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, subscribe buttons. And if you want to throw a few shekels my way, go to patreon.com/displaying model behavior. So do whatever you want to do, but do it in the spirit of Marvelness. Oh God, I've ruined another sign off. Guys, until next time, keep displaying model behavior.